All right, so WWE, they quietly have switched a couple of talents. Mustafa Ali was on SmackDown, appears to be going to Raw. They had been doing months of this build of this mysterious SmackDown hacker. It almost appears to have been dropped because they haven't done anything with it in a few weeks. A lot of people thought it was a new gimmick for Ali. Now Ali's going to Raw. And on the flip side, it looks like Dolph Ziggler is going to. Oh my gosh, where is that?
He's going to Raw. I just saw that.
Yeah, he's going to Raw. Well. So yeah, they're both moving to Raw.
And AJ Styles is on SmackDown again.
So AJ moved to SmackDown because he had issues with Paul Heyman back when Paul Heyman was still in charge. AJ apparently blamed Heyman for Gallows and Anderson being fired from the company, even though it was ultimately a Vince call. I think AJ thought that maybe Heyman could have fought for them more, but AJ was not happy with Heyman, got moved to SmackDown, and in return, Raw gets Ali and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, no, it's I saw that some of the AJ stuff and just crazy. I don't know. The Ali has he been on TV a lot this year or no?
No, I can't even think of the last time he was on TV.
And you know what, this guy, he speaks out pretty openly, I know, on things too, right? Kind of like he's an intelligent guy. He's a former cop but I feel like a guy like that doesn't fit into the system because he seems very intelligent. They don't like that usually. Yeah. Just from different things, because he's educated on the way things go, and he sees things for how they are. And I'm sure that because I haven't seen him a lot this year.
Actually, to your point, he hasn't been on WWE television yet this year,
which is crazy because he was at last year at one point. He was doing some stuff, and
he was basically in that Kofi Kingston spot last year.
Yeah.
When he got injured, then Kofi, and Kofi caught on fire and ended up being in probably the hottest match at WrestleMania that year with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that's and that was over a little over a year ago with all that.
Right.
But it's crazy how things can change. But I know, and you've heard like guys like Arn Anderson and people talk about it, and Jim Ross has said, it's like, even if you have it figured out, do you really have it figured out? Like, as far as when you talk about things, and I don't know if he doesn't talk necessarily about like business things as far as the industry. Maybe he has, I haven't particularly seen it, but he speaks on like things going on, which he's it's good. But they sometimes don't like that. Because there's always a reason why something's going on. If there's a guy not on TV, like there's always a reason, always. Yeah. I like Dolph going back to Raw. I think he's Dolph, man. Since he's been there, it's like the Miz, like those they not out with injuries, really, just very consistent. He's always able to be plugged in. Better heel than babyface, I think. Even though I think he does make a great babyface, if he's losing, I like him better as a heel to protect him a little more on that. So I'm sure he'll be used as he always is in a prominent way with people. He did the whole run with Otis. I thought he helped make Otis did a hell of a job with all of that. And Otis is a bigger star after working with Dolph. So I'm sure, no matter what he's asked, he's gonna keep doing what he's done, and that's deliver night in and night out over on Raw. And hopefully it's with fans eventually, because this stuff I can't watch too much more of this shit, Raj.
It is tough. I mean, I probably wouldn't be watching if this wasn't my job. I mean, I could definitely say I wouldn't be watching it if it wasn't my job.
Yeah.
And I've been watching for 30 years now. That being said, I did find Raw this past Monday to be their best show that they've done in a long time. Lately, one of the problems with Raw is that they have so many matches that go like 40 minutes between guys you don't really care for yet, that aren't over, that are just newly being pushed. I thought Monday's Raw was a lot faster paced. The matches were kept shorter, except for the bigger ones. The Asuka versus Nia Jax and then the Drew McIntyre match were given more time. And that's why I always felt like works. And then a lot more segments, a lot more entertainment, and the show moved faster, and it did its best rating since WrestleMania, since the post-WrestleMania show, doing 1.939 million viewers, up 12% from last week. Now, last week did 1.737 million viewers for the Backlash Go Home episode, and it's been hovering around that 1.7 million mark.
Yeah.
So this was a big jump. Now, most of those viewers where they saw the jump were teenage girls and also people over 50, but still an increase in viewership. All the other demos were even or up a little bit. And also, the hour 1 to hour 3 drop was one of the smallest in a while. It was a 7.3% drop from hour 1 to hour 3, which was the smallest since March 9th, which was before the pandemic. The audience was down 13% from the same point last year. Usually, the audience has been down like 20 to 30%. So overall, all good numbers for this week's Raw. I mean, again, it's 1 week. They're still below 2 million, but any number up is a plus.
Absolutely. And again, more people in the crowd. Probably the most fans they had fans in there to give you a little bit of that energy to where the wrestlers don't look like they're playing hokey wrestlers in front of nobody. So, and the more people that I would say, the more people they're able to keep getting in, the better things will continue to be.
Yeah, and these were, and to your point, these were legit fans there this week, as opposed to the other weeks they've had the developmental talent in the stands, and that just it didn't feel organic. It just felt very forced, like they were paid to, like they had a sign telling them who to cheer and who to boo.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was, and it's understandable because you want them to. It's if you tell them not to do anything, they're not going to, you know. So it's just a tough situation. I had Stu Bennett, Wade Barrett on for this show this week with his new movie, I Am Vengeance Retaliation out. And he was even saying he can't watch as far as regularly because without the fans and that energy. So putting some real fans in there, even if you have them, I'm sure you're telling them, please make noise, guys. You want some energetic people in there, but at least you're getting some possibly authentic reactions. And if not, it's at the very least the wrestlers, the guys and girls coming down the stage, see people they don't know. So they're performing again in front of an audience, essentially, and outside of their peers. And I think that energy is able to help out. And the ratings clearly showed that, a 12% increase is a 12% increase, and hopefully get the numbers back into the twos here as this progresses.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you guys for watching Ryback TV. If you could check out my Shooting Blanks Wrestling Report every Monday on all podcast platforms, Conversation with the Big Guy Ryback every Thursday morning on all podcast platforms, and Feed Me More Nutrition, my personal supplement line, available on feedmemore.com and Amazon. Save 10% with discount code YouTube10 and save stupid. Why couldn't you? Almost had it. I almost had the whole video done in one take. New customers, you can save 20% with discount code NEWCUSTOMER on feedmemore.com. Get hungry, stay hungry, feed me more.